If a speedrun world record is achieved using a specific tool, item, or strategy, and later on that tool, item, or strategy is decidedly banned from said speed game, should that world record be allowed to stand as the record among other speedruns held to a different set of rules? My friends, that is the very situation we find ourselves in when discussing Grand Theft Auto 5 speedruns. You see, speedrunning a modern game like Grand Theft Auto 5, released in the mid-2010s, brings about challenges that speedrunning older games does not present. Things like downloadable content become a topic of discussion. Should in-game items you need to pay for on top of the game's purchase price be allowed for use in a speedrun? Or what about the validity of using a companion smartphone app for a video game? This is Dark Viper AU. He's a Grand Theft Auto 5 speedrunner and streamer with around 92,000 followers on Twitch, making him one of the most followed speedrunners in the entire community. He currently holds the world record in the Classic category at 6 hours, 33 minutes, and 59 seconds, roughly 2 minutes ahead of second place. On his world record speedrun, he used an official Grand Theft Auto companion smartphone app called iFruit, developed and endorsed by Rockstar Games, the same developers as Grand Theft Auto 5 itself. This app can give some fun cosmetic changes in-game, but also can give you a free upgrade to your vehicle at the start of your speed game. Now, you don't use this vehicle for very long, you get a better one soon enough, but using the upgrades from the iFruit app saves roughly 1 minute on the overall speedrun. For a while, using this app was allowed. Some argued it was akin to Wind Waker's famous Tingle Tuner, which, to be fair, I've always been surprised at how conflict-free that was just passed on through into becoming the norm. But even though the app was allowed, pretty much no one used it. I mean, really no one. Dark Viper and one other player, S, were the only people to use the iFruit app on their Classic category speedruns of the game. And after about 2 years of doing so, the community consensus regarding the app shifted. Dark Viper himself actually created a thread on speedrun.com bringing up 3 points of consideration for the community to make another decision about the iFruit app. Namely that, very few people ended up using the app, being banned by Rockstar Games in any of their games prevents you from using the app, which means that behavior outside of GTA 5 can impact the ability to speedrun the game, and that server or internet outages can disrupt the app during a speedrun, causing issues and failure. And the community largely agreed with these concerns, resulting in a vote where the iFruit app was now banned from use in GTA 5 speedruns. So here's the problem. Dark Viper's world record, the 6:33:59, is still on the leaderboards as the world record, even though it uses the iFruit app, which saves about a minute, which is now banned. So Dark Viper used a time save on his world record that no one else is allowed to use anymore. And this has created a controversy unto itself. Should Dark Viper's world record be removed, given that a tool it used is now banned? I spoke with another GTA speedrunner named English Ben, who made a video on this same topic, where he mentions a couple of points. For one, GTA rulings have almost never been retroactive. There have been some other cases in Grand Theft Auto where a strategy or timing method was changed, but runs using the old methods were not backrolled. And English Ben argues that Dark Viper's run is not unbeatable with current strategies and knowledge, and it's only a 1 minute time save in a 6.5 hour run, which aren't really great arguments because where do you draw the line? 2 minutes save? 5 minutes? 30 minutes? So here's the part of the video where we come up with a hypothetical to better envision the current problem at hand. Imagine, if you will, a situation where someone like, say, an Elon Musk decides to raise money for his boring company by taking 1,000 pre-orders for high-tech, modernized Nintendo Switch consoles that also have flamethrowers for $1,000 each. And let's say the consoles are officially endorsed by Nintendo. When they're finally produced, a speedrunner acquires one and gets a new world record on Super Mario Odyssey, a 59:57, beating the current record by 2 minutes, thanks partly to faster loading processes on the newer console with better technology. Now, while initially the new console may have been theoretically accepted by the community as an official Nintendo release, in practice the consoles are just extremely hard to acquire, with only about 1,000 being made total, and the advantage is just too insane to ignore, creating an uneven playing field for everyone else. So the new flame-throwing console is banned for the purposes of speedrunning Mario Odyssey. The hypothetical record of 59-57 probably wouldn't be allowed to stand, at least not in the main any percent category, and the run would be retroactively backruled after the rules were changed. Or maybe isolated and offloaded from the leaderboards as some kind of legacy record. This seems to be the most reasonable thing to do given a rule change, and a run which breaks the now current rules. Obviously, the GTA iFruit app usage is a lot less extreme than a time-saving, flame-throwing Nintendo Switch. The app is accessible to pretty much everyone for starters, but just because it only saves a minute in a 6-hour run, and the GTA community doesn't usually retroactively remove records upon rule changes, doesn't mean the principles are very different. Now, I don't blame Dark Viper at all. You know, wanting to use every resource available to get as fast of a speedrun as possible is natural, and who doesn't want to get a world record on stream? I did talk to him about the situation, and he assured me that, aside from a small number of individuals, the community does largely support leaving his run up, because the time saved from the now banned app isn't that remarkable, nor does it make the record unbeatable. I think it is noteworthy, however, that Dark Viper was one of the runners to use the advantageous time-saving app, get a world record with it, and then 2 years later he led the charge to disallow said advantage, so now no one else can use it, but he leaves his record up on the leaderboards, one that anyone competing with can't use the same advantage he had. And so I don't think it's out of line for some of the more outspoken guys like WQ or Rydog to at least question the move. It definitely could appear to be a conflict of interest. That being said, good leadership in a speed game community can be hard to come by, and it's not like I've never voted on or decided on a matter in GoldenEye that benefited me as a side effect. And speaking with Dark Viper, I certainly do get the impression that the decision was made in good faith. So if Dark Viper is the guy who takes the lead on these sorts of decisions about rulings in GTA 5, and can do so with the community's best interests in mind, then so be it. And to be honest, I wouldn't want to remove one of my 6-hour speedruns either. Not that I would ever run a 6-hour game to begin with. Yikes. Consider this. A speedrun of GoldenEye's train level on Secret Agent by Axel Z, ending with a time of 1:19. The current world record is actually 1:23, so this run could technically be considered an untied world record. It was performed using a strategy invented by the notorious Trent Huvis in September 2012, where you press down on the circuit board of a dismantled second controller, which is plugged into the console, and this freezes the in-game timer while allowing some objectives to complete. This strategy was not explicitly banned when this run was achieved, so you could argue it didn't break any rules at the time. Once the strategy was publicly revealed, the community near unanimously decided to ban the strategy, declaring it a clear manipulation of external hardware. Imagine if this run was still allowed to stand after the rules had been explicitly changed to ban the strategy. Axel Z would be holding the untied world record for nearly 6 years now, and anyone competing with him wouldn't be able to use the advantage he used. And would it really be any different if he got, say, a 1-second untied world record with 1:22 instead? A record that is doable without using this strategy? Surely you can see why the argument some, like English Ben, are using in Dark Viper's case, that his record is beatable even without the iFruit app, is not a good one. Maybe the great shame here is that the simple solution would be if we had some sort of world record history website, somewhere we could compile all of the historical records and rule changes in every speed game throughout time, and we could simply place Dark Viper's run on some legacy pedestal, high in a trophy case, with bright lights shining down upon it for us all to gaze fondly. A reminder of a time when the iFruit app was indeed allowed in GTA 5 speedrunning. This way, the record would get the historic significance some would say it deserves, while being removed from active competition, creating a more fair environment for all. So there you have it. There's the rundown on the ongoing situation in the Grand Theft Auto 5 speedrun community. Do you think Dark Viper's run using the iFruit app should be removed now that the app's usage is banned? Or should it be allowed to stay? Or did the community mess up by banning or allowing the app at all in the first place? I always enjoy hearing your thoughts. If you did enjoy this video, definitely subscribe to the channel for more speedrunning content and analysis. I have many more videos on the docket for the upcoming weeks, and let me know if you have any speedrunning or gaming situations you'd like to see me cover. I truly appreciate your remarkable support lately, breaking 40,000 subscribers just the other day, so thank you all very much. Stay true, and I'll see you in the next stream or video.